that is great. You do need help, and you also need help with this. Because sometimes they miss the main thing they need help with, which is marketing. They need a marketing help. They're like, oh, my marketing's great. Are you getting clients? No, I'm not. Would you
So
say
your
your
marketing
marketing's
is
great? It's not getting. So there's just a lot of confusion. So I get it clear. And really, it is a clarity call, like clear on what do you want? What's going on? Boom.
good day, everyone. Chrissy G here, and another week of a Titan's Tale. And I'm excited about today. I'm excited about all of them, but this one I was reading in my notes. Oh my gosh, we've got a tale to tell today. Please welcome Jean. Sorry, I forgot. No, I didn't. Jean Almore. Is that right?
Almalor. That sounds good to me. You got it
Almore.
fairly
All
right.
right. Well, this this country boy's tongue doesn't do French very well, so well, tell me and tell us all about a little bit about yourself before we get into our deep conversation here.
Sure. So, my name is Jeanne Amelor, and I'm a multi seven figure business coach for coaches and consultants. And I've been coaching 13 years. And I specialize in organic social media marketing and also heart based sales. So, there's a lot of things that I'm doing very consciously, not that other people are unconscious, but um, I want to change. I'm actively trying to change how we sell, and I've proven that we can sell well and not lie or be disingenuous and still become multi-million-dollar business people. So yeah, I live in Florida and I have two teenage daughters. And I have a background doing a bunch of stuff. I used to be a fashion designer. I was an actress for many years, filmmaker, uh, executive recruiter on Wall Street for investment banking. Yeah, I've done a lot of things.
A lot of things. We'll come into those in a minute. You mentioned sales. Is it selling online that's different, or just the whole process of getting out there?
Oh, what's different about what I do is
Yeah.
well, it's different for everything because I feel like people have been okay with doing marketing and sales and kind of not being truthful. It's like, oh, they're a salesperson. So meaning, I thought a lot about that. I thought, so they're allowed to lie and, trick you. And so the way I teach sales is just to be completely honest. And it's called heart-based sales. Completely honest. Don't oversell. Don't, don't exaggerate what you're going to do. Don't sell to just sell, but sell to serve and to truly stick up for the person if you truly see you can help them. Sure, stick up for them, but it's not about desperately just trying to get money in the door and telling people whatever it is that you think they want to hear to get a sale. That's the old way of selling, and it doesn't feel good for any party because nobody wants to be hard sold, and it doesn't feel good for the person doing it because it's not right. So I think that goes for all sales, that people got to just be more genuine and stop exaggerating or lying so much. That's what I think.
I hear you. Well, let's talk back in the day when you were doing some other stuff. You said you're an actress. That's interesting.
Mm.
Some other consulting and so forth. So, what caused you to want to be an entrepreneur?
Well, actually, I kind of like was forced into it in a way because I was newly a solo parent in New York and my kids were 1 and 4 at the time. And I
Mhm.
thought I have to do something where I can stay at home, take care of my kids, and earn money. So it was obvious that I needed to start a business. So then I started a kids blog and it became really well known really quickly, but it didn't bring a lot of money. And I got a lot of free clothes for the kids. They were the best dressed poor kids in New York City. But I thought, okay, this bit of advertising, it got me out there. It got me on, writing content. I met a lot of cool people. It was great. It was a great
Yeah.
step in the direction of giving me some confidence that, wow, people actually like my sense of style and the kids stuff I was doing. But I thought this is not a sustainable business. I figured that out. And I kept doing that for a while because I liked it. But I thought, what can I do where I'm at home taking care of my children, but I can still build and this is before I was online. And I thought, well, I've always been really good at coaching. I'm going to have to, go out and meet people and do the networking and all that. But okay, I could fit that in. And I just realized, I've always been good at coaching. So why don't I do that? So I got certified at night and I was a life coach to begin with. And I just asked everybody I knew, do you know anybody that might need my services? And I got my first few clients. Some of them were overseas. So it was, no, by the way, we didn't do Zoom then. It was all phone calls. I coached by
Yeah.
phone. So I didn't have to even care what I looked like. I was in my pajamas coaching, you know?
Coaching on
Yeah.
over
And
the
we did
phone.
everything by
Yeah.
phone then until COVID. Then it was like all Zoom then, right? So it was very different. And people just expected the phone call and they didn't have to be on Zoom. And, you know, so that was it. And then in about 5 minutes, it was obvious that my coach was like, you're a business coach. Like all your clients need help with marketing and you're helping them make more money. You're actually a business coach. I said, okay. So I naturally became a business coach. I'm good at strategy and being creative. And so I just started networking and getting more clients. Then I started, public speaking and creating events. And it was hard. 8 years, it was hard having the kids and rushing out and meeting. And then 5 years ago, I was in deep debt after the actual divorce. And I just thought, this isn't working. All this networking and running around, driving around, it's just broken. So I thought I really need to get online and figure this out. So I got it. I was in deep debt at that point, plunked down 10K on 3 different credit cards, and I joined a program. And it wasn't the best program, but I thought, at least it's getting me online. And I make
Yeah.
lemonade out of lemons all the time, every day of my life. And I thought, well, okay. And I figured it out. I figured out how to do this online social media marketing. And people are like, wow, how did you do that? So you don't have a market, you don't have a following, you don't have an audience, you don't have branding. How are you doing this? So I figured out very simply how to get high ticket clients online, and people wanted to hear about that. So then I just got a flood of clients and they were like, this is amazing. And I got $2 million in 17 months and I'm still doing it. We have a great team dialed in with several million. I love what I do. And it's just changed my life. And we've helped over 500 people.
So not only, so are you, you have other team members doing some of the consulting coaching now?
Yeah, I have a
You thought?
team. So I have I have a mindset coach, and I
Mhm.
have a heart-based sales coach, and I have a content and copy coach, and I have another one-on-one coach. So I do a lot of the coaching myself, but I have a team that does things that they're better at stuff than I am. So
Sure.
it's a true team. It's not just like a mini me of Jean doing the same stuff. So we have it really works well together. Yeah, and I have a back end team that's very small. I'm
Oh, yeah.
very small. I had a bit of a bigger team, but I felt like the management, if you have a bigger team, then there's another job of management. So I got it to a point where there's really not much management. Okay.
Mhm.
But we're still getting the work done. And then I'll sometimes just pay outside people to do so. I do need another team member right now. We have a bit of a gap. But yeah, but I learned all that, like, what size of a team, because people go, I'm going to plug a team in, but they don't realize having a team causes a new job. So I've figured all of that out, like how to build a team, what size, how to do all that. So people work with us now because they want to, see how they can get from zero or very low to the same pathway without ads, without all that ad spend and managing ads, because that's a big job and it's expensive. And ads don't work. They just don't. They work for people that have $1 million budgets.
Mhm. You were online before the pandemic though, right?
Yes, I was online. Well, I mean, I've been online on a website, but I mean, social
Sure.
media, right? I got online about, let me see, maybe 6 or 7 months before COVID. I was
Mhm.
already established. I was already getting clients. I was becoming known for this. And I was so glad I was already positioned, because then I was in a position to help more people in COVID who needed to learn exactly what I'm teaching. They had to learn it because there was no way they could do any networking anymore. So I provided
No.
a real service for a lot of people where there was no other solution. And I said, well, you can still coach. Everybody's online on Zoom. And some of my clients had their highest months ever when COVID started, because I coached them to not listen to all of that stuff that everybody lost their money overnight. People didn't lose their money overnight. It didn't happen. So, um, so yeah, I feel like I was placed there to serve more people at the right time.
You're a single mom and you're doing some blogging. What was it, really blogging, or what was it?
Yeah, I had a
You
kids blog. I had a
kids
kids
blog on
blog, and I
TV.
was
I saw you're
blogging.
on the internet, a
And
website.
yep. And I would go and they were like, I love your site. And so people would send us free clothes and I would go to different events. And so it got me writing content, and it just got some kind of, it made me feel like, wow, I have something going on, and I felt
Yeah.
appreciated. So that was a good start just to get my confidence up, actually. But I could see that was not going to provide, like, enough to just
Just
So
to
to support a
sustain,
family, a little bit of
right?
advertising wasn't going to do it. And I loved the free clothes. It saved me some money, but that's not going to, you can't live off clothes, right?
No, no, no.
Yeah. So, but it was also artistic, and I liked that. The photos, and we did some crafts, and we fashion and things we were doing in New York, and different correspondence around the world. So it was a nice blog. People liked it a lot, but it wasn't enough to make a business out of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then you did the life coaching.
Yes, I did the life coaching then. Yes.
Was that, I guess once you had some customers and you say
Mhm.
advertising doesn't work, how did you grow your business? Mainly through
I
word of
did it
mouth?
organically, but see,
Yeah.
yeah. Now I've tested ads because I can. And I
Hmm.
thought, gee, I should do the ads thing now that I made all this money. And ads I spent like $90,000 on ads. They just I got a few clients. Yeah, but it really, the work you did to work, you got to keep changing the ad creative, and it's so much work. I was like, wow, I'm actually making more money just doing my organic, and I don't have to deal with all that. So
Hmm.
you really need a huge budget for ads. And even people with huge budgets, it's harder for them to get their ROI back now for coaching. It's a very saturated space.
Now we're going to talk some stuff later in the episode here, but so if you don't have a huge budget for ads
Hmm.
and you don't recommend ads,
No, I don't.
you have to have a few huge following on social
Nope.
media to make this work.
Nope. I had nothing. You need to be that person that understands a business is grown one client at a time, and you can bootstrap anything. This whole thing of, I can't do that unless I have expensive branding, or I can't do that unless my website is perfect. I can't do that unless I have a huge audience. And I can't do that unless I have a huge email list. I had none of this. None. And I'm not good at tech. I didn't even know how to use Zoom when I first started. It really just is, do you want this? Go out and get those clients. And I show them how to do it with content, reach out, and how to do, really good sales call that's, builds trust and doesn't turn them off. It's really not that hard. The system is simple, but you have to learn to master it. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you one of the believers in one call as a sales call, or do you follow through with
You know
multiple?
what? It just depends. Some people, they get on a call with me and they're like, I'm done, I'm ready. And I think people attach themselves too much to that. Like, whatever works. If they want to do it in one call, sure. If they want to go talk to their wife, sure. Sometimes it's 2 calls, sometimes it's one, sometimes it's 2.5. Um, but it's really what they need. If somebody wants to get on a third call with me, I'm like, no, I won't do that. You either make a decision, because some people, it's true tire kicking, right? It's like,
That's a
no,
good
you
question.
have
Yeah.
enough information. Do you want to do this or not? Well, no, I'm not getting on a third call. Just give me your questions. Because there's a point where it's just they're trying to drag information out of you. Rarely, but that does happen. After the second call, if they're asking for a third, they're just trying to get free coaching out of me, like just trying to get it.
Mm,
So
I hear you.
it doesn't matter, yeah, 1, 2, whatever, whatever that person wants, it's not important. What's important is to ascertain whether they're a fit for our program and whether we can help them. And if it is, then I'll fight for them, because they're going to start with all sorts of they're going to start with all sorts of objections that don't matter, because they go into lizard brain, right? People.
Hmm.
So I stick up for them. I go, well, okay, if you don't work with us or somebody else that's as good as us, where will you be? And they're like, that's a great question. I'll be exactly where I am. Okay, well, do you want to be exactly where you are? No, I don't. Well, then you have to do something. You either work with me or somebody else, but you can't say you want something, not fix it, and it's messy, right? So I try to get people to a point of logic, not emotion, logic. And people, I don't sell with emotion. I sell with logic. What do you want? I want this. Great. Do you know how to get that? No, I don't. Do you know how? Yes, I do. This is what we're doing. Do you believe this would work? Yes, I do. Okay, here's the price. Do you want to do it? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Then they go, okay. Do you think yes, I do. Where are you going to be if you don't get help? Nowhere. Do you want to be nowhere? No, I don't. Something has to be done, right? Something
If
has
you
to
have a goal
change.
or if you want to move forward, yes.
They say they do. So there's a point where a human being just has to stand up for themselves and say, the woman's right. I need help. If I don't get help, I won't get what I want in life. Then they sort of short circuit. So people need to figure out what they want, figure out how to get it, and take action. That's all. It's that simple.
I love well, I'm seeing a pattern here of truth and logic are two of your
Mhm.
main goals here.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
staples, which I love. Let's say I'm your client,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the first things I think you're teaching me, not one of the first things, but obviously frequent on the phone calls, you have to identify it's so your ideal avatar, your ideal client. But
Exactly.
you got to identify who you could serve, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I ask people, who do you think, because sometimes they don't know, who do you think or feel, depending on the person, because I can read how people, want to be talked to.
Sure.
Who do you think you're, oh, it's this. Okay, great. So I write it down. So for now, that's it, right? And when people are talking to me, I'm already processing, oh, okay, we got to change that, because I do this with my eyes closed. While I'm talking, I'm already figuring the problems out. Okay. I'm already figuring it out as they're chatting. Then they say, this is my offer. And I'm like, oh, either it's great or I'm thinking I got to fix that to make that actually sellable. Because if you
Mhm.
don't know a market, it's really hard to come up with a product. Like if you don't know anything about the coaching market or anything, and you're coming up with a random price and a random structure, they're going to need help with that. So you ascertain that. And then it's like, it's so simple. Chris, it's so simple. People complicate things. What do you want? It's so simple. What do you want? And they're like, well, I want this. Great. I write it down. Do you know how to get that for yourself? Nope, I don't. Okay. Do you think you need help? Yes, I do. What do
How
you
about the
think you
golf?
need? What do you
Yeah.
think you need help with? Then they tell me, and I'm thinking, yes, yes. Sometimes I agree, and sometimes I'm like, well, and I'll say, that is great. You do need help, and you also need help with this. Because sometimes they miss the main thing they need help with, which is marketing. They need to marketing help. They're like, oh, my marketing's great. Are you getting clients? No, I'm not. Would you
Then
say
your
your
marketing
marketing's
is
great? It's not getting. So there's just a lot of confusion. So I get it clear. And really, it is a clarity call, like clear on what do you want? What's going on? Boom. And then if I'm 100% sure that we can help that person, a lot of it is personality. If somebody's there and I'm like, oh, I don't think they're going to do the work,
the
then I won't.
relationship or personality
No, their
or both.
personality. I can see the way they're talking to me. It's like somebody that probably won't do the work.
Yeah.
I will not run it by them. I'll say, how much do you want this? And then they say, well, I want it at a 5. I'm like, we can't work with you. 5 is neutral. 10 is not neutral. 5 is a neutral position on a gauge. It's in the middle. There's
Hmm.
0, 5, and 10. Like, those old fuel gauges that go there. It's in the
Oh
middle.
yeah.
If somebody is neutral, lukewarm about what they say they want in their life, do you think I can help them? I can't. I can't even, I can't motivate them to get to a 10. So I go, oh, okay, well, that's not enough motivation for us to really be able to help you. So it's rare. Most people go, I'm a 10. I really want this. Great. Okay. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to invest? Maybe. Now, if they go, no, I don't want to invest, I'm like, we can't help you. So it's really about getting people to that point of seeing the truth about how they're thinking. Do you want this? What do you want? Do you want it? Yes. Are you willing to do something to get it? Yes, I am. Great. Here it is. You want to do this or not? And then they can decide for themselves.
Now I'm in another thought all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of the 80-20 rule.
Yep.
Is it 20% that say better, or is it vice versa? Which ones are more engaged in
I
your?
don't know if those are the numbers. I don't think it's 20-80. I think it's less. I don't think everything's 80-20. 80-20 is more
Yeah.
about, 20% of the work you do brings 80% of your profits. That's the 80-20
Yeah.
rule. Right. With
Correct.
this, that doesn't apply because I don't know. I just know there's some people that say they want stuff and they're going to do whatever it takes if it's, ethical.
Mhm.
And there's
Sure.
other people that say they want stuff and they are not ready to do what it takes. So they might as well reevaluate what they want in accordance to what they're willing to do to get it. Does that make sense? There's
Mhm.
a law of the universe. You can't just get stuff by accident unless you just happen to win the lottery, which is 3 or 4 people, right?
That's about
So,
it.
yeah. So it's like there is a correlation between effort and reaping reap what you sow, right? It's in the Bible. We
Mhm.
reap what we sow. So you can't expect to get a good crop if you haven't planted the seeds. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Right before you hit that, right at the beginning of that first month of 17 months, when you're
Mm,
ramping up,
mm.
could you feel the roller coaster starting? Or not roller coaster, could you see the snowball
I
starting?
could, but actually it took me 8 weeks. I didn't get online and figure this out overnight. It took me 8 weeks of a lot of work, nonstop, 8 weeks, many hours a day, figuring out my system. Okay. On the 8th week, I got a client. And that seemed like an eternity for me because I was like, oh my goodness, this is another 10K. I'm already in deep debt. If this doesn't work, what do I do? I wasn't going to get a job. I couldn't go back to I decided the offline, I'm not doing that's broken. So this has to work. So it was like, what they say, when the knuckles are white, like it was
Mhm.
like that. So I was like, oh, and then on the 8th week, I figured it out and I got the first client and he said, yes. And I was like, wow. And that was when I thought I'm on to something. This worked. This
Did
will
you,
work again.
was it I want to say pitch, was it 8 weeks of talking to different people and
Oh
then
yeah.
finally getting it right? Or
8
you
weeks
think,
of
or
everything. 8
everything?
weeks of everything. 8 weeks of figuring out organic marketing, 8 weeks of testing my content, 8 weeks of talking to 900 people on Facebook, 900 nonstop, getting market research, figuring
Yeah.
out that actually I can help coaches. I had had my niche. It was general. I didn't have my niche dialed in. I was like, this isn't working, the general thing. What is it? Oh, okay. I'm talking to all these coaches. I thought, bingo. These coaches need help. And that was like, that's my market. That's it. Because I coach some coaches and consultants, but not. And I thought, that's it. I'm just going to go for coaches and consultants and certain service providers, like marketing
Mhm.
people. And I thought this is it. And I started then only talking to them, more conversations. I had 18 sales calls to like 18. Who does 18
18
sales calls without a
in
sale?
8 weeks. 18
Yeah.
sales calls in 8 weeks.
8 weeks, just
Uh-huh.
figuring this out. I had kissed a lot of frogs. Like, oh, that's not my market. Okay. That wasn't, no, not my avatar. Not, I kept like going, nope, still not. And I just kept building on it. See, people don't understand that process is important in life. It's not dialing stuff in and bingo, I have it. Everything is a process. Painting, learning a sport, learning a job, sports, everything's a process. You don't just wake up one morning and you're great at shooting hoops. You don't, right? You don't wake up one morning and you're just fantastic at painting. You've learned stuff and you're growing. Same with business. So those 8 weeks was like a real boot camp for myself, just like full on. And I worked so hard. When I got that client, I ran out of my office and my two daughters and I started crying. I was like, I got the client. They were just, Mom, we were dancing, literally dancing around the house. That is how unbridled it was because they saw me go through that. They're like, Mom is like working so hard. And I'm like, I don't have it yet. And, and it was luckily it was the summer vacation. So I actually had to take them on a road trip. I took them to a camp and I found a workspace so I had a week just to like not have to take care of my kids for a week, which was great, because camp. Then I was
Sure.
like, we're already out here. It's summer vacation. So I took them on a road trip and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't afford this. But I thought, I will figure this out at some point. We're already near New Mexico where we have family. And I thought, I'm just going to keep driving and I'm just going to I was so anxious. In the end, these few days won't make a big difference, but it was so stressful for me because I was like, I need to make this work. And every day was like an eternity. So anyway, I got it. And then I got two more clients that same week. So I got
That was
three.
my next question. How much after that first one, how long was it?
Well, I got three in that first, I got 3 high ticket
Gosh.
clients. That was the most I'd ever made. So I didn't even make that much in some years. Like I had some bad years. I thought, oh my gosh. Then I was on fire. I thought this works. So then that's when the flood and that's when the momentum and just scooping up clients and creating my content. And then COVID happened. I thought for about a minute, I was like, uh-oh, is this going to affect everything? And I thought, wait a minute. No. Oh, no. This is in my favor. I mean, it didn't make it better. I think I was already on that. I think it was the same as it would have been. I thought this is actually not bad for me because they need this more. So process that quickly, got back on track in like a day. I was like panicking a bit, like we all were. COVID was scary,
Yeah,
but I got back
was.
on track and I was leading people and people were like, wow, you just helped us. And so, yeah, no, I actually hit 1 million and I didn't even realize it for a while. I looked back and I thought, how much money have I made? And I thought, oh, I actually made 1 million. It was 2 months ago. I was just on it.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
so in it. You're not like, how am I doing, Mom? You're just like in it,
Keep going. Keep
full
going.
on flow, it was fantastic. So, yeah, it was amazing. So that was the aha. You're right. There was a snowball, but it was that moment where I got that sale and it was just like an amazing feeling. I thought, oh, by George, she's got it. Eureka. It was like Eureka. Like I hit gold. Like this is it. This is the way forward. It was
Did
amazing.
you oh, say, did you duplicate what you did on the first one, or was it already like in it that first 8 weeks of work? It got you to a point where those second, third, and fourth clients were kind of a, I wouldn't say a ripple effect, but it obviously
No, no,
somewhat was.
no, I had a system in place, but no,
Yeah.
all of that work, what I help my clients with is not random. The
Hmm.
8 weeks was getting a system in place for a steady stream of leads and
Sure.
how to do that, how to write content, how to be online, how to do a sales call, and how to get them in my program and how to help them too. I was learning that too as I was going. So yeah,
Right.
no, it's just growing and growing and getting better and better. Yes, of course, replication all the
Oh,
time,
yeah.
getting more. Yeah, no, it wasn't like, oh, I randomly got a client because you can't
Oh
reproduce.
no, I didn't mean that by
Yeah,
no means, but
yeah, no, system in place. And that's what
mhm.
we teach is once you do it once, you have a fishing rod. You just do it over and over and over. But then you get to another point in the business where you're going to maybe integrate some other things like another platform or, or get some help or, obviously I didn't just not grow. I have,
Sure.
I have teams and there's other stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
the basic thing that I was doing, I'm still doing to this day.
You mentioned fishing, and I like to fish. And I bet
Good.
you think, you ever have to change baits? Same pole, just different bait?
I don't know what you mean by that. What do
Well, well, in fishing, sometimes you got to change the worm, the look of it. And in this case, I'm not sure exactly what you do as far as your training, but do you have to have her change your lead magnet, for
Well,
example,
oh,
or your
oh, yes,
content?
of course. No, that's
Yeah.
called development. That's just building more. So I had a lead magnet and I built another and I just created more. So it's
Hmm.
just growing. That's just part of progress and growing and testing. So yeah, I guess yeah, testing. Yes, of course. You also
You
have to
change worms, the
all the
colors,
time. Yeah, you
all
have
the
to
time.
keep
That's right.
testing in a business. A business, and this is something I learned years ago from
Hmm.
a well-known business consultant. I think his name's Alan Weiss, and he wrote a lot of books. I don't know if he's still around, but one of his books, the one thing I read years ago when I first started, and I was first started being a business strategist and coach. I've been doing it a few years actually, and I read this, and he said, people have to understand that all that business is a series of testing. You're just testing one thing and see how it goes, and you test another. And that really hit home for me. I thought, that's it. That is it. Business is just a series of testing stuff over and over. When you understand that, you're not a victim anymore in your business. It is just a series of how did that work? Did good or not? Yep, that worked. Okay, I'll keep doing that. That didn't work. Okay, I won't do that anymore. I'll tweak it. It's not about, oh my gosh, I failed. That is not what it is. People are not seeing their businesses in the right light.
I have in my notes that you specialize in cracking the social media codes. Is that through the testing?
That is testing. And this is testing organic social media marketing. So started on Facebook, tested a bunch of stuff, figured that out. I integrated LinkedIn, a bunch of testing because I didn't know. This is years ago. Got good
Hmm.
at LinkedIn and create trainings, taught my clients who want to be on LinkedIn. Do that for a while. I had 2 plates spinning. Then I hit Instagram, bunch of testing. How does
Yeah.
Instagram work? How does that work? It's always a bunch of testings. And then I create trainings from that. And then I learn new things. And then we keep testing, always testing. Yeah.
So we talked about earlier that if I had some coaches and consultants on my listening group and they
Yeah.
want to contact you, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. My question is, with your systems the way you got it now, and you've got it lots of years to fine tune it,
Mhm.
would it take them as long as it did you to start?
Um,
I know it makes a
Eight
difference on the
weeks is
person. I don't
actually,
mean that,
yeah.
but
The answer is it depends because everybody's different.
mhm.
I've had clients get much quicker results than me, and I'm jealous. And
But you
then
helped them too. I mean, you took care
I
of
had
them
the
swimming.
system. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
to figure it out for myself, and that's the difference. It's here it is, go get it. So I've had people come in and get like, I'm like, wow. One woman came in and she just had started her coaching business and she got to $10,800 in 1 week. New offer. She was like, I
Yeah.
can't believe this. And then she got to like 30K in the 12 weeks. I had another woman who had already been coaching for 4 years, breathwork coach. So it wasn't money related. Um, and she got to 91,000 in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So I didn't do that at all. I mean, I took a lot longer to get to 90K, So yeah, I mean, it just depends on on the person, the market. It just
Sure.
I can't read that, but certainly people have done better than me, for sure. Yeah.
Now, we did talk about, we can talk about this now, is that
Mhm.
we mentioned that if somebody wanted to reach out to you, that you're a coach,
Mhm.
a consultant, and I have a question there. Is there a difference between a consultant and a coach in your mind?
Um, so it is this. A consultant generally goes in and figures out the plan and they do a report. Okay, so here's what's wrong. This is what you need to do to fix it. Here you go. Here's the plan.
Okay.
Okay. A coach coaches you through the plan. Okay. So,
Mhm.
but now they're mixing it up a lot, but traditionally that was the difference. However, I do know a lot of consultants that would actually coach their clients through it, you know?
Gotcha.
So traditionally that's the difference, that the consultant is not going to, like McKinsey and Company goes in and they get the plan and they deliver a big report and they charge a
Mhm.
lot of money. They say, these are what you need to do, but they're not going to go coach them on it. And a lot of those companies don't take action because there's no coach coaching them through it. Okay. I
Gotcha.
don't know how McKinsey does it now, but that's how they used to do it. So they're consultants. They're going in, they're doing some research. What's going on? What's broken? What do you want to happen? Okay, this is what you need to do. Here it is. Here's your report. Make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
The coach is coaching you through it to coach you through it as a coach does, like a football coach is going to coach you. They're not going to say, hey, player, here's your notes on how you need to improve your performance. Go away and do it. No, they're going to be like, they're coaching them through that. Right?
Right.
Yeah. See the difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, your business
Hmm.
is seven-figure coach for coaches and consultants.
Yes. Yes. So I will help consultants, but generally those consultants are also coaches. It doesn't
Yeah, they
matter.
do both.
It
I mean, they
doesn't
got to have a
matter
plan
to
and
me.
then
It
coach
doesn't.
it through it.
Sorry.
Do they create the plan as a consultant and then help coach them through it?
No,
As
no, some people are just consultants. They're business consultants
I
anyway.
got
They're
you.
already
Okay.
see, this is the deal. What they
Hmm.
do doesn't matter to me. I have an artist. I have a fine artist in my program right now. You know
Yeah.
why?
Uh-uh.
Because the organic social media marketing I figured out would work for her offer. And I said, you know what? That would work for you. So she hired me and it is working amazingly. She got like over $10,000 worth of clients in about 3 weeks. Okay. She has an offer that I said, actually, this would work. She said, I said, yeah, this will work. I knew it. She's like, okay. And she basically has high-end commissions for wedding paintings.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So it doesn't really matter to me what they're doing. What
Right.
matters to me is will the marketing serve their offer? I couldn't care what they're doing if it's going to serve their offer. That's
Gotcha.
all that matters to me. But generally, I focus on coaches and consultants because they really need help. But I got the
Mhm.
artists. I thought, gee, maybe I should get some more artists in there. It works so well. Also worked with like financial advisors because that works for them. I've worked with, yeah, there are some, as I said, marketers, it works for them, like digital marketers, they come in sometimes, email marketers sometimes. So there are other businesses that they come to me and say, hey, can you help me? I'll say, well, let me see. Will it work? You know?
You, you mentioned earlier, and I assume it's part of your program, you help them look at the offer they're offering
Sure.
and
Yeah.
see if it's, I would
I'll
say,
fix,
viable.
I'll fix it. I fix
You
the offer.
fix it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I look at the first thing I do, I look at everybody's offer and I get really clear, like confusion does not sell. They have to have something so good that they have the hot potato and it's a great offer. It's irresistible. It's got enough in it that it's compelling. I also make their offers better. I'm like, well, I think you could serve better. Let's add this. What do you think? Oh, I love that. So it's got to be that they feel so great about their offer and that the people that get on a call also feel great. Like, oh, that's an amazing offer. Why wouldn't I do this? See,
It's a no-brainer.
the
Yeah.
goal, yes, the no-brainer. Thank you. The goal is that when you are selling, that the other person is saying to themselves, well, why wouldn't I do this? Not, should I do this? It's difference.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, the offer leads into something you mentioned. You have an offer
Hmm.
that you'd like to provide to some people if they
Sure.
really meet your criteria. What is that?
Okay. So you mean my program?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I have a 12-week group one-on-one hybrid program. Why is it hybrid? I've found in 13 years of coaching, the best results that I've ever gotten have been with a mix of a group and also one-on-one together. Because one-on-one's great, groups okay, but It's way better when you mix it together. So it's 12 weeks, and we take them through everything that they need to make this work: offer creation, avatar pricing, content, lead generation, sales. That's it. That's all you need. And it's 12 weeks. And we also have a year. And a lot of people are doing our year because they get 4 rounds of the accelerator, and they also get me for a whole year, like to coach them on whatever else they need, like replicating the marketing avenue, or getting on podcasts, or starting a podcast, or leveraging a book, or public speaking, or hiring people, all of that tech, just the whole build. So yeah, more people, even in this economy and even with everything, they're seeing the value that they really do need like a whole year to keep going. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's two ways of working with us.
Awesome. Well, how would somebody get hold of you if they wanted to?
Well, I've given you a lovely link. If there are coaches or consultants or people that feel like this might work for them, they can book a free business breakthrough session where I'll look
Mhm.
at what you're doing and I'll see if there is a fit. And if there is, I'll tell you what we do and you can decide. So that's free. And also they can go to my website, jeanneomelor.com. That's JeanneOmlor.com. And you can see my reviews and stuff on there.
Awesome. And she's correct. At the bottom of the show notes here, you'll find that link we were discussing. Also, you can also go to titanstail.com. And titanstail.com, you can find Jean and all the other great guests in our directory. And then those will be links as well. John, thank you for your time today. It's been very enlightening.
Thank you.
And you have a lovely voice.
Thank you very much.
I don't know, it's soothing almost. But it's been a great pleasure. So if you want to talk to me, Chris Gilman, you can go to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, Chris Gilman, and reach out to me. Be happy to talk. John, thank you for your time today. You have a wonderful one. And you're down in Florida. Is it nice? And were you involved in any of the hurricane stuff?
Actually, I live in Clearwater, so we were very lucky that we were involved, but we were not directly hit and there was nothing bad. I evacuated for that, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
God bless you, and glad
Thank
you're
you.
safe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.